Hello, and this is Matt Allgood, and welcome to Matt's Movies. Today we're going to do a little recap, and I thought I'd do it a little different than I normally do it. I'm still in my normal place. I just thought I'd kind of change it up a little bit, do some different venues, do some different ways of filming the episodes, and kind of stuff like that. I'm also going to be working on some sets for the show, maybe kind of build up some background stuff. Maybe some I'll have like a certain set for each episode, and just kind of some stuff like that. Just something kind of different than I've been doing in the past. Thank you for. I want to say first of all, I really appreciate everyone watching all my videos and checking them out on the YouTube channel, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to list the movies that I've done so far. In case you missed any of the episodes, and I'm sure if you haven't, you probably haven't caught every single episode I've done. I've done 9 episodes so far, so in case you're just now catching up, we're gonna go and we're gonna talk about the episodes that we've done so far. Okay, first off, last year I started doing Matt's Movies, and in the fall of 2014, I did 7 episodes for the first season. So when the show debuted, I believe it was in October, November. I'm not really sure around the time, but it was around that time, October, November of 2014 is when I first started doing the show. And the show is now actually called Allgood Movie Reviews. So that's the name of it now. It's no longer Matt's Movies. I found out somebody else had that name, so I was like, well, I'm gonna have to go with something else. I don't want to have something else that somebody has a name to. So in case somebody got ticked off, or you can't use that name, that's my name, or whatever. So I decided to just go with a different name. Plus, I've liked that Allgood Movie Reviews. I've liked the sound of that for a while. So, all right, first off, we're going to review some movies that we've reviewed so far last season, and some of the ones we reviewed this season. All right, first off, we have Birdman from 2014, starring Michael Keaton, Naomi Watts, Zach Galifianakis, and Edward Norton. Alright, in case you don't know what Birdman is, I'm going to tell you. Michael Keaton delivers the best performance of his career, Peter Travers' Rolling Stone, in this funny, frenetic film from co-writer-director Alejandro G. Aranatu. When a has-been movie superhero, Keaton risks everything for Broadway. He faces harsh critics, a deranged alter ego, his estranged daughter, and a difficult stage star, Edward Norton. Also starring Naomi Watts and Zach Galifianakis, Birdman is audacious, original, and bold. Leonard Maltin, IndieWire. And again, this was Birdman. This was one of the first reviews that I did for Matt's Movies, so it was when I first started doing the show. That was one of the first ones that I did. I don't remember what exactly. It was either the first or second episode. I'm not exactly sure of which one that was, but that was one of the first ones I did. I gave it a 3-star rating. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I believe it was a 3. I believe it was a 3-star rating. I might have to check back on my. It was either a 3 or a 3.5. I know that much. But I gave it a pretty good review. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good film. Michael Keaton was good in it. I've always liked him as an actor, so I really enjoyed it. And I thought the plot was good. I kind of like, as you know, I kind of like acting and stuff like that. So I thought the film was pretty well done and portrayed pretty accurately on the way actors are and kind of stuff like that. So overall, I enjoyed it, and I thought it was a good film. So that was it. That was my review on Birdman. Coming up next was Scrooged from 1988. Excuse me, I keep messing up. It was re-released in 2014, and if you don't know what it is, I'm going to read it to you. High-spirited hijinks on Christmas Eve put Frank Cross in a ghostly time warp in this hilarious takeoff of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Cross, who has made a meteoric rise from the depths of the mailroom to TV network president, is mean, nasty, uncaring, unforgiving, and has a sadistic sense of humor, perfect qualities for a modern-day Scrooge. Before the night is over, he'll be visited by a maniacal New York cab driver from the past, a present-day fairy who's into pratfalls, and finally a ghoulish 7-foot headless messenger from the future. Directed by Richard Donner, Scrooge was one of the Christmas themed episodes that I did last year, along with a best of Christmas of movies that I liked as Christmas movies. Scrooge is I thought was a pretty good film. I gave it a 3-star rating. I know that for sure. I don't have to guess on that one. I know for sure I gave that one a 3. I like Bill Murray. I thought he was pretty good on it, although his character was kind of harsh at times. He did a pretty good job at portraying the part of a kind of a miserly network executive who really doesn't care about anybody or ratings when the film starts out, and kind of starts to see the error of his ways as he's brought back into his future, present, and past, along with 3 ghosts. So one of them played by David Johansen, the other one played by Carol Kane, and the other one, like it said, is just played by a kind of like a Grim Reaper type. But overall, a good film, directed by Richard Donner, written by Michael O'Donoghue and Mitch Glazer. So check it out if you're a Bill Murray fan at all, and if you've never seen Scrooged, do yourself a favor and check it out. It's a pretty good film. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty well made, and it had a lot of laughs. In it. It had a lot of funny parts, kind of sarcastic humor and stuff like that. So if you like that kind of humor, I think you'll like it. Okay, what do we got next? We got Independence Day. No. Independence Day, directed by Roland Emmerich, written by Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich, starring Will Smith, Bill Pullman, Jeff Goldblum, Mary McDonnell, Judd Hirsch, Margaret Colin, Randy Quaid, Robert Loggia, James Rebhorn, and Harvey Fierstein. As you know, this was a big hit of its year. Independence Day was a big hit in 1996. One of the biggest, probably, summer hits of that year. Overall, I liked it to begin with. It was my initial response to the film. But overall, I when I look back on it, I didn't really care for it. I gave it a 2-star rating, which is fair, which is not mind blowing. It's not great, but it's not it's not a terrible rating. But you could get a lot better, and a 2-star rating is really not very mind blowing in the realm of TV or in the realm of movie ratings. It's kind of a bad rating. So it's not poor, but it's not very far away from poor. So I also reviewed Black or White from 2014, starring Kevin Costner, Octavia Spencer, and Anthony Mackie, which is about a man whose granddaughter who is trying to get custody of his granddaughter while coming to blows with with the black family that's also trying to get custody of the daughter, along with the father, the deadbeat father, who comes back into the picture and who Kevin Costner really does not like because he's into drugs and hasn't really been there for his daughter. So understandably, he's not too blown away by the fact that this is actually that he wants to be back in her life and that kind of thing. So not too blown away by that, and he kind of tries to take control of the situation, tries to get custody of the daughter without having to get with him at all, deal with him at all, because he pretty much just wants him totally out of the picture. So that's what's going on there. I gave Black or White 3 stars. I thought it was a good film. I like Kevin Costner. He's not my favorite actor, but I have liked some of the films that he's in, particularly Ron Shelton's films that he's done. Bull Durham, I liked him in that. I also liked him in I can't think of the name of it. Tin Cup. That's it. Tin Cup, and he's also been in a couple of other ones that I've enjoyed. He was in, previously to Black or White, he was also in Mike Binder's, the director and writer of Black and White. He was also in Upside of Anger, another good film with Kevin Costner and Mike Binder. That was their first teaming, and then this is their second teaming as writer, director, and star. So, and Mike Binder, like I said before, he normally makes appearances in his films, but he wasn't in Black. He chose not to be in Black and White, which I think it was still a good film overall. There's actually a character, his friend in the movie, actually kind of reminds me of him in a way. I was like, well, this character, this friend character that he has in the movie, kind of reminded me of Mike Binder in a way. So, what else? Ouija, a knockoff of Witchboard from 1988, I believe. What did I have to say about Ouija? I didn't like it very much. I wasn't really that wowed by Ouija. I went into it, and I didn't really go into it with real high hopes, and I wasn't really disappointed because I wasn't going in, man, this is going to be a badass, kick-ass movie that I'm really going to like and really going to enjoy. And I wasn't disappointed. It just didn't really, it didn't really do a lot for me. It's just basically about a girl, and her friend kills herself, and she's trying to bring back her spirit through the Witchboard, and just kind of the complications that arise when she tries to do this, and the horror that is kind of unleashed through the Witchboard. And like I said before, there's been better movies made about Witchboards, about Ouija boards. Witchboard, directed by Kevin S. Tenney, knocks the crap out of freaking Ouija. So if you want to watch a movie about spirits that are channeled through a Ouija board or a Witchboard, check out Witchboard. It's a lot more entertaining. It's got some slow parts, but on par with Ouija, it's just a far better film, I thought. I thought it was more entertaining. I thought the scares were better. I just didn't really feel, and you kind of get into the characters in Witchboard a little bit more. I didn't really feel invested with any of these people in this movie. I watched it and I was just kind of like, I didn't really like any of the characters very much. There wasn't really anybody to root for. So, overall, I can't really, unless you're just kind of an undiscriminating horror fan, I wasn't too impressed by it. But like I said, my opinion, you guys may like it. That's my humble opinion, take it with a grain of salt or whatever, That's just kind of what I think about it. All right, what else? Hot Tub Time Machine Part 2. Starring Rob Corddry, Adam Scott, also starring Clark Duke and Craig Robinson, from 2014. Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is basically the follow-up to Hot Tub Time Machine Part 1, minus John Cusack, who decided not to appear in this one for some reason. I don't know. I guess John Cusack was doing something else. I don't know. I don't have any idea. Cusack is kind of high in demand these days. He's in a lot of movies, so I don't really know what Cusack was doing. But he had some prior obligations. But I think Adam Scott more than fills Cusack's shoes as he actually plays Cusack's son. It's a lot of time travel stuff, kind of back and forth. Basically, the story to this one is Lou's character, Rob Corddry's character, is shot in the crotch by an angry, and he's actually a big star now, and he's the creator of Lugal, which is kind of like a spin on Google, and he's got all this money, and he's just kind of finagling around, and he's still kind of sleeping with women, and kind of sleazy, kind of like it was in the last movie. And an angry man shoots him in the crotch, so they drag him into the hot tub time machine and try to bring him back to where he's kind of bring back to life or whatever. And they go through different phases, kind of the future, the past, and in the end titles is actually when they start going to the historical places and stuff like that. As a follow-up, I thought it was pretty damn funny. I laughed a lot in it. Probably about as much as I laughed in the first one. I would say it was about equal to the first movie, in my opinion. It had a lot of laugh out loud parts. Just kind of the interactions with the three stars, I thought was good. Just a pretty funny movie. If you like the original Hot Tub Time Machine, I think it's safe to say you're gonna like the sequel, because it has a lot of the same kind of humor. And the interactions between the four main characters was pretty good. The writing was pretty funny. The direction was pretty funny. They kept it at a pretty good pace through the whole movie. There's a weird subplot where there's like a self-driving car that kind of gets pissed off at Lou and tries to run him over. It's got some. It's silly, but like I said, if you like the original Hot Tub Time Machine, you're gonna like the sequel. I gave it 3 stars, and I think it was pretty good. What else we got on here? We got I did a best of holiday special, like I said, where I just kind of touched on the films of kind of just some Christmas movies and stuff like that I liked and enjoyed. So let's see. It Follows, directed by David Robert. Don't let me get this name wrong. David Robert. I can see it in my mind. God, I don't have that movie either. I bought that movie and I don't remember it. David Robert. Or no, Robert David. Ah, man. I did so good up to this point, and I cannot remember this director's name. I want to say Moore, but I don't think it's Moore. Oh, man. This is a pain in the butt. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. This is such a... It Follows. Here we go. I'm going to look this up. I'm sorry, guys. This is so embarrassing. Not knowing the name of this freaking director. And it's so... I even know it. I can see it in my mind, too. I can even see it in my mind. And for some reason, I cannot get this name right. This director's name right. But anyway, we will get back to that. It's basically about a girl who has a sexual encounter with this guy that she's dating, and through sexual contract, she's supposed to pass it on to somebody else, or otherwise there's going to be someone that's always following her. It Follows. It's a creepy movie where you don't really know. It follows if you're creepy. Better get off there. Oh, man. I'll get back with you on the director's name. I feel bad that I don't know his name. I mean, she's going and she's getting stalked by this. She's always followed by something. It's like a person or like an entity or something. It doesn't really ever tell what it is. So, but it has a number of creepy parts. I didn't ever know what was going on in this damn movie. And I think that's why I liked it, because most horror movies, there's either like a killer or there's someone stalking somebody, but you know where it's going to go. You know they're going to have to eventually, you figure out the killer way in advance, and you're just really not that invested in it. And this movie I thought was very, very well done, very well written, very well directed. I liked the characters pretty well in it, and it was pretty entertaining. I mean, it kind of kept me on the edge of my seat through the whole movie. I mean, I watched it and I was just like, I felt tense through the whole movie. And normally through most horror movies, I don't feel tense, because I've seen so many horror movies, I'm kind of desensitized to what's scary or not anymore. And now, not saying that some of them don't still freak me out, because that's not the case. But, overall, It Follows was a pretty damn good movie. I just thought, I thought that it could, I thought that it was well done, and I think anybody that's looking to be surprised, can't go wrong with this one, because it's pretty well done and well acted, and it's just a damn creepy movie in my opinion. So check it out. It Follows. I gave it 3 stars. What else? I think I've done most of them. Let me see. We did Birdman. We did Black and White. Hot Tub Time Machine 2. Ouija. The Christmas. Scrooged. And final film, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014. What did I think of Ninja Turtles, the remake? A lot less than I thought of the original. I really like the original movies, the Jim Henson movies, the ones where he created the costumes and stuff for the Ninja Turtles. But then again, I've for some reason I've always liked the Ninja Turtles. I think they're kind of far out, but kind of interesting at the same time. So, I didn't care for the remake very much. it did have some good action scenes and stuff like that, but overall, kind of blah. And for the younger set that watch the movie, the freaking costumes of the turtles are gonna haunt the dreams of children. I mean, they're like really creepy and like terrifying. I don't know. I don't know. And there's a lot of high speed kind of action in it. It's definitely not for younger kids or whatever. Not for young, not for the small fry, as Leonard Maltin used to say. But overall, just was an okay movie. I just really wasn't too wowed. I really wasn't really that wowed. Had some kind of funny parts and stuff like that. But a lot of the humor that it was in this one was, kind of sexual in nature. The turtles were kind of hitting on April O'Neil, played by Megan Fox, and Megan Fox, in my opinion, did not make a good April O'Neil. She was kind of dull. I didn't care for the way she portrayed the character very much. Will Arnett kind of had some funny scenes, but it was kind of at the expense of other characters. The turtles were kind of perverted in a way. I don't know. It's really the only action. The action sequences were really the only thing that saved this one, I thought. I mean, that was it. I gave it a 2. I gave it 2 stars, which was fair. I haven't given anything 1 star yet, because nothing's really pissed me off too much where I didn't want to. Yeah. That wasn't right. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted for a minute there. But anyway, I kind of wrote a script out for this one. This show so far has pretty much been unscripted. So if I've stumbled a little bit, I'm sorry. I do it on every episode, and I'm never all the way through to where I don't mess up. But anyway, I still pretty much go by the star rating. 1 star is poor, 2 is fair, 3 is good, 4 is very good, and 5 is excellent. You can't get any better than 5. 5 is the highest star rating you can go. There's other ways to rate movies. I've seen all kinds of ways to rate movies, but the star system, to me, I think is the most reliable way to do it. I didn't give any film so far a 1 star, like I said before, because I didn't think of any of them as poor or a really bad film. There's still more reviews I got to do in the future, though. So I got a ways to go. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna ever give anything a really poor review. I'm sure Mannequin is on the way to my later review. As anybody that's seen Mannequin knows, that deserves 1 star. No, but I do plan on still reviewing some movies in the future. I'm going to review Get Hard, starring Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart, and some films I've seen in the past. We're going to even go all the way back to the 80s. So plan on going way back on some of them with me. Just because they're, not brand new movies doesn't mean we're not going to review them. So don't always expect a warm, cuddly review, because that's not going to be the case. But overall, like I've said, these are all my humble opinions. Don't get all pissed off if I dislike a movie you like, or vice versa, because it's not going to go that way. I already know feelings are going to get hurt. Some people are going to cry tears of pain as I review their movie. And I don't know. I've done some bad movies in my day. Trust me, I've made some clunkers. I'm still trying to get a good movie off the ground. So I'm sure you're just as likely to trash any movie that I've done, or you probably haven't seen any of them, thankfully. Well, I wouldn't want you to see any of the ones I've done, other than Mucky Fingers and stuff like that. You don't want to see the old stuff, trust me. And my brother doesn't even want me to put anything we've done on here, which I don't blame him. I wouldn't either. I'm really not proud of the old stuff I've done. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to do kind of like an update on the episodes I've done so far, the movies that I reviewed, and stuff like that. So we hope you guys have enjoyed. This has been Matt's Movies Recap, or Allgood Movie Reviews Recap. Stay tuned for we got brand new episodes coming up. New movie reviews coming up. I don't really know what they are yet. We're going to do, like I said, I'm going to do a Get Hard review. And I have a few more movies from the past that I'm going to review. And we're just getting started this season. We got a lot more episodes to come. This season's probably going to be a lot longer than last season, so I hope you're enjoying them so far. This is Matt Allgood. Thank you for listening to me blab about this and that and the other. And we hope you've enjoyed it so far. This is Allgood Movie Reviews signing off. You guys have a good day, and as always, God bless. Stay tuned.